welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing kind of a continuation of the last video I did, which was the beginner's makeup kit. Today I'm going to be doing a tutorial using everything, well, mostly everything. I'm already out of breath. Oh my god, I had to go back to the gym, man. I'm so out of shape. I'm gonna basically be using all those products to do a beginner's makeup tutorial with a lot of tips and tricks and things like that. What am I doing? So yeah, let's just get straight into it. Alright, so the first thing I already did was prime. I used this Milani Prime Perfection, and then I let that sit in and kind of dry for about 5-10 minutes. You definitely don't want the primer to just still be sitting on top of your skin before you apply foundation. You want it to be soaked in so that it really helps your foundation to go on nicer. I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me, and I'm going to be using a little amount, and I'm going to be using the Real Techniques buffing brush, great beginner's brush. So I'm just going to take a little bit of it like that. Okay, I took about half of it. I'm just going to start stippling it on my face. Now, I think one of the biggest mistakes that people make when they are applying foundation, at least like beginners and stuff, is they don't buff in enough. Now, when you watch my tutorials, things are speeded up, and I cut things because I need to be able to fit in like 30-40 minutes of a makeup routine into 7-8 minutes. I definitely do blend a lot more than you see. When you first apply, it might look streaky to you, especially if you use a brush. It might look kind of not so good, but that's because you haven't blended it in enough, so you're just gonna keep pushing that product in. I don't like to go under my eyes because the more product you have under your eyes, the more it's gonna crease. Yeah, it just evened out my face, as you can see, but it's still pretty natural looking. Now, it totally depends on how much coverage you like. So if you want more coverage, add another layer, but I'm just gonna keep it this way. Do not use me as a tissue, kid. Please go get a tissue. Here.
I'm trying to hug you.
No, you're not trying to hug me. I know you. You're such a sneaky little boy.
Just keep on watching.
Did you just say just keep on watching? Oh my god, that's exactly what I said. She really does pay attention. You definitely want to get into your hairline. Make sure it looks blended. Sometimes I forget. Okay, now that my face is pretty even, I'm going to apply concealer. This is the Maybelline Fit Me. I'm just going to put it under my eyes. That's enough for me. Now if you want to highlight your face, you can also put it down the bridge of your nose, your chin, and your forehead. I'm going to skip that today. I don't really feel like doing it. I'm just going to blend that. Just blend that with this brush right here. Also Real Techniques. And then to make your concealer look much more natural, because sometimes I see concealer and you could still see exactly where you conceal and you can see the line. What you want to do is just kind of blend the edges out, and you can use that with the same brush. You can also use it with the concealer brush, but this just makes it a little bit more natural. I put no extra product. I just am using the same brush, and I'm just blending out the edges. I know it's raining a lot. You definitely want to blend out your concealer until it is somewhat dry, and then you're going to take a under eye powder, whatever. This is Wet n Wild Caramel Toffee. What I like to do is just load product onto the brush and then tap off excess because I don't want it to be too much. And as you can see, I like to just work it in a triangle. I do it along my nose and then all around. And that immediately makes it just much more flawless than this side, and it takes away all that shine. Okay, now before I use the bronzer side, I'm going to mention a product and a step that I didn't mention in my previous video, and that is if you want extra coverage, instead of applying a lot of layers of foundation, you could just apply a layer of powder, but that's not like a pressed clear translucent powder. This is actually not opening. Okay. This is the True Match powder in W6 Sun Beige. This is especially if you have oily skin, you definitely do want to set your whole face. So this is one of the options you can use if you want more coverage. And if you don't want more coverage, I do like this Covergirl Advanced Radiance powder one right here. I like to use my Wet n Wild one a little bit more because it has the yellow. For me and my skin tone, it's just it looks a little bit nicer because it, you know, brightens up my under eyes and adds that yellow that I need. But this also, it's pretty, like, it's not really, there's not really no color to it yet. It's pretty, I would say it's like a colorless powder. This is a really great product. I don't use a lot of powder them mainly is because they feel so like dry and stuff, but this doesn't feel dry. This feels really nice and soft. So yeah, this is Covergirl Advanced Radiance in Classic Beige. But like I said, it just really doesn't have a color on me. It's pretty clear, I guess. But for more coverage, I do like the True Match. So that's what I'm going to use just to show you guys what it does. I'm just going to load up the product onto the brush, tap off excess, and then I'm going to kind of apply that all over. And I don't know if you guys can tell, hopefully it catches on camera because I can definitely see it in person. It adds more coverage right away. So that's if you want to. Now I'm going to add bronzer. I know it seems like a lot, but these are, you know, optional steps. You don't have to if you don't want to, but yeah, this is just all the tips that I, you know, want to share with you guys. So I'm going to take the contour color or bronzer color. It's a bronzer. It's not really contour because it's much warmer. And I'm just going to apply that right there and my jawline a little bit. Now when applying bronzer, you definitely want to take a little bit, tap off, and then apply, rather than go right in and then apply a lot and then try to blend that out. It's just much easier. It creates a much more flattering kind of, you know, warmth to the face rather than just like a brown streak, if you will. I'm using this Real Techniques Dual Fiber brush. And there you go, I'm all warmed up. So let's move into eyes. I'm gonna do my brows first. I'm using this Covergirl Brow Liner Powder in 805, and I'm gonna show you guys just how easy this is. So I tap off excess because it has a lot of product. And I like to start off at the end first because you want to apply the most amount of product there, and then whatever is left on the brush, you just add that to the front so that it's not too much. But yeah, I like to just add first there, and then I like to elongate my brows a little bit because they're on the short side, like that. Use a very light hand. I do have an eyebrow tutorial on my channel if you want a more in-depth tutorial. But yeah, I'm using a really light hand. But again, I think that's an important tip to keep in mind, to start off at the end first with the most product and then apply to the front and, you know, add like lighter product there so it's not so intense. And yeah, I did that in real time, and that's all it took. You guys see how easy that was? It took like, I think, 20 seconds. And then I'm just going to set that with a eyebrow gel. Oh, whoops, this is not the store. Oh, hello. My e.l.f. one is just as good. Sorry guys, the Anastasia one was closer, that's why. But yeah, e.l.f. one just as good. Now I'm going to prime my eyes with my e.l.f. primer. I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild palette in Coming Latte. And like I mentioned in my previous video, Real Techniques has an eyeshadow kit that has, you know, really great brushes to apply eyeshadow. But I gave that kit to my sisters, so I'm going to be using just what I have. One of my favorite brushes is this BH Cosmetics one, and I always use it for blending. I'm going to take this taupe color, tap off excess, and apply that to my crease. You always want to start off with the transition because it acts just like this layer that helps you blend out the other eyeshadows. I also have a beginner's eyeshadow tutorial, more in depth if you want to go. This is more like a really easy beginner's makeup tutorial. But if you want like a really in-depth one, I do have that one. I'll also link that below. Warning, I do talk a lot, as some people complained in the comments, but hello, it's an in-depth tutorial. I'm gonna talk a lot. But yeah, a lot of people found that one helpful, which made me really happy because that's what I want to do. I want to help people. But yeah, basically what I'm doing right now is just really lightly applying this transition and just really blowing that out. And you want to always, I think it's just like a rule to always remember, start off with a little bit, blend, and then apply more. Layer, blend. I'm gonna use this more tapered brush and apply like a darker brown right here. And just lightly apply that to the outer V. Do you see how dark that is? The shadow is actually very pigmented. Just like a really basic kind of smoky eye. A little tip, if you want to up any look and make it like go from daytime to nighttime, just add a darker color in the outer V, and that will immediately add like a smokiness to it. And then I'm just gonna take my fingers and take this like bronzy taupe kind of color and just apply that all over my lid. My finger is basically doing the blending for me. If you want to intensify that, all you need to take is some spray. I've been using Fix Plus a lot lately just because it's always here, but before that I was using my e.l.f. spray, which is just as good. A lot of the reasons I use certain products is because of laziness, because I just don't want to go and reach a different product. Any brush, synthetic brush right here, spray it, and then just go back into that color, and boom. That's it. It's immediately gonna be a little bit more shimmery, more intense. And then one extra tip, if you have like maybe smaller or more close together eyes, in order to kind of brighten your eyes, just take any sort of like shimmer color. You can use this one or this one. I'm gonna use this one because it's a little bit more neutral. And just pop that into the inner corner. Blend it out lightly. And that's just immediately gonna open up your eyes. You need to intensify it, add a little bit more, but don't start off with too much. It can look a little too much. Don't use too much because it can look too much. Wow, so good with words. And then you want to curl your lashes. I had a Revlon curler that I really liked. I think I gave it to my sisters or they stole it. Either one. Sometimes I like to come here and just go through everything and just say, okay, I'm taking all this stuff, okay, bye. What are sisters for, right? So this is a Jouer curler, but the Revlon one works just as well. So then I'm going to apply mascara. This is the Covergirl Supersizers. One of my favorites. So I'm going to apply a couple. You can add eyeshadow to your lower lashes, but I'm just going to keep this a little bit more simple, and I'm not going to do that. I'm going to apply my winged eyeliner actually. Sorry about that, I should have done that before. I'm going to speed this along just because I do have a winged eyeliner tutorial. It's a little bit more in-depth, and it's really quick. It's like a fast tutorial if you guys want to watch that, but yeah. Alright, so I did my winged eyeliner. Now I'm going to apply lashes. These are Demi Wispies by Ardell. So I know a lot of people have problems with lashes. Trust me, I understand the struggle. When I first was applying lashes, they were just slipping and sliding everywhere. So what you want to do is apply the thinnest layer. So I like to squeeze out just a little bit, and then that's it. Do not keep squeezing this, okay? So a little bit of it is going to come out, and then you just want to apply that along the lash. And especially with the lashes like these, which have like a really thin band, you want to use a really thin, small amount. Then I'm going to let that get tacky. I think the biggest mistake people make with lashes, and I know this because I do this all the time, is applying the lashes too fast. You need to let it get tacky. Also too slow, because you also don't want it to completely dry out. You need to find like the happy medium. While we wait for that to dry, let's do blush. This is Pearlescent Pink by Wet n Wild. I'm just going to take, excuse me, I'm going to take my Real Techniques blush brush and just take a little bit of excess. Just apply that to the cheek. I like to just smile and apply that. I feel like blush is pretty easy. Just don't apply too much. And also, you know, make sure you're using like a color that's flattering. Not every blush color flatters everybody, so yeah. Just a good tip if you are similar to my skin tone. I'm at C42 in MAC. Any sort of peachy, corally blushes are really beautiful on us. So I think this is dry by now. Okay, so you see it's like super easy. All I'm gonna do, I'm gonna look down, and then I just kind of press them together with my real lashes. And you really want to make sure you get that as close to your lash line as possible. That's why you should like apply it higher than like this way, because usually if you apply like going from down to up, you're gonna get it like on your eyelid, and it's not gonna look good. It's gonna really fake it. You're gonna see that it's like sitting on top of your lid kind of. That's why you want to do it up, so you can really get that in your lash line. So I'm just gonna, this is the Wet n Wild highlighter. And take a brush, a little bit, and usually you want to apply highlighter right above where like the blush is and right under your eyes. Don't apply too high up here. Basically just like the highest part right here. And I don't like to bring it too much into my cheeks. I just don't feel like it looks very good. If you apply it near your like cheekbone, just up here is fine. You can also apply it like there to just really get to shine when the sun hits it. But yeah, just like right under your lashes and above where your blush is. And you can go crazy, apply down the bridge of your nose if you want, your cupid's bow, whatever. But keep in mind, highlight emphasizes pores. If you have a lot of texture on your face, the last thing you want to do is apply a lot of highlighter there. It's just going to emphasize it. So keep that in mind. More texture, more pores, the more it's going to show if you apply highlighter. Move on to lips. I'm going to apply this NYX Natural Lip Liner. Lip liner is just really, really important if you are beginning with makeup, especially if you're going to apply a lipstick, not a liquid lipstick. You really want to define your lips, and I like to do is fill it in a little bit inside, not all the way, just so it's just more blended looking. But yeah, so this is Matte Beauty by Milani. What? Look, the lipstick. Well, I guess I can kind of save it. So sad. Okay. Oops. Should have used matte naked. If you want to make your lips look a little bit bigger than they are, which I do myself, line your lips naturally first, the regular line, naturally, and then just line them a little bit under, right here in the bottom. Okay, make sure you connect it to the rest of your lips. Just a little bit on the bottom, and just a little bit on your cupid's bow. Like overline, I mean. I feel like if you just do the whole lip, it just looks very obvious. It doesn't look very good to me, at least not on me. It looks terrible, it looks crazy. You could so see that I've overlined. But if you just overline a little bit under here, you see my lip already looks fuller, but it still looks like my lips, you know? And that's it. I didn't even have to finish. Please let me know in the comments below what you thought. I really would love to hear if this was helpful, because I definitely do want to help people who kind of are like a little bit intimidated by makeup. First was posting looks on Instagram. I didn't know what the hell I was doing, but I just practiced all the time. That's what I did. I just practiced and practiced. I played with makeup. I watched a lot of tutorials myself, and that's how I learned. Don't get discouraged. It's really about practice. Again, I really hope it was helpful. If it was, please give it a thumbs up, and let me know what you'd like to see next. I will be working on that flawless full coverage foundation tutorial very soon. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!